I got the studs in for the bathroom last night, but I didn't nail any of them in. They're just friction fit sitting there. And I was looking at it before I left. I was like, oh, I got maybe a minute or two left of gasoline in the generator. Should I quickly try to stick a nail in them or just let them sit overnight? I decided to let them sit overnight, and looks like 2 fell out. And that's good. I was looking, it didn't look like any of them, if they fell, they would break a window, so. There we go, back into friction fit. Yeah, wood framing is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would. But I'm trying to figure things out and moving walls and such at the same time, so. It's to be expected if you're not following a set of drawings without making any changes. And you're designing as you go and moving stuff as you go, then it's going to take a lot longer than if you're just following the drawings. That's why it's always important to figure out what you want before you start building, because you can build a lot quicker, and sometimes you know, hours and days matter when you're actually building things. So it's best to have a set plan, what you want, and then stick to the plan if you can. When you start building, there's always things that pop up. It's like, oh, hey, I changed my mind. I kind of want this and kind of want that. Well, that's why contractors charge you a shitload to change things and for extras, because it kind of slows everything down, and it you know, they could lose money by, you know, stopping to change things and move things and, you know, such. So that's why changes cost so much. When you have a set drawing that you're not going to deviate from, you can, like, you know how long it's going to take for that, and you can like push things and speed it up, you know, and get it done quickly, because you already have it all figured out in your brain before you start, and you know nothing's going to change, so you just go at her, get her done. But if, you know, stopping, oh, we need this, oh, stopping, oh, I need that, well, then, you know, you don't make as much money if you're doing this for money. But if you're doing it for yourself, the same things apply. If you're going off of a set of drawings without any changes, it go together a lot quicker than if you're like designing things and moving walls as you go. So anyway, that's why it's taken me a little bit longer, because the layout of the floor is nothing like air. I have a drawing of what it was originally. So this is so originally my wife says, hey, we should build a house, and I'm like, okay, well, let's get one that's not complicated, so I can like do it in like 3-4 months. I build it, it's done. Ha 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 ha. You know, so I thought could do it in 4 months. So we decided on just a simple house, just a simple house. You know, the easiest thing to build, you know, just a simple, easy house, just square box, you know. And this wasn't going to be our forever home. This is just going to be a quick house. We just build it and, you know, add some value to the property, live in it for a little while, you know, and it just be a place to stay. So originally, okay, this is the foundation. It was originally just a crawl space, but the crawl space was built just like a basement. So I'm like, okay, well, why don't I just put a basement there? Just add another 3 feet to it, and then as a basement, because it had a 5-foot crawl space. So then we had a little bit of time and money doing that, building the crawl space, and the foundation. When I dug down into the ground, I dug down to the clay and the rock, but because everything's sand and clay and rock, I was a little bit worried that things would move around and settle and such. So I beefed up the foundation a little bit, did wider footers, did a strip in the center to keep the walls together, because there's force pushing in but nothing to keep them from spreading out. So I didn't want the foundation to move or settle or do any weird shit, so I put a strip of concrete down the center there. So foundation was a little bit extra work. And then here's the floor plan originally. I already drew on it a bit. So it had a rear sliding door, that's the same, but it had a little bathroom there, and then it had an attic hatch there, and a bathtub. So the bathtub and the attic hatch became the stairwell into the basement. And then I have the 2 bathrooms here. Still have the small bath, but the small bath is now connected to the master bedroom, and the main bath is still the same size. So main bath is pretty much the same, but it doesn't have the bathtub in there anymore. So the main bath size is still the same, the big square, but it doesn't have the bath in there. So somehow I got to fit. So it's still 7'5" by 5 feet wide, but it's 63-inch wide now, so it's got an extra 3 inches wider, but it's pretty much the same depth, maybe a little bit longer. And then the master bedroom here. So the master bedroom now starts right here. Originally it was just a hallway into the bedrooms, and then you have a tinier bedroom there, and then a closet both sides. And now it's you have a walkway into the bedroom. You can have a bit of a closet right here. No closet there. Closet probably somewhere else. Bigger space. And then bathroom there. And then the second bedroom is a little bit bigger. So originally it was to there, and now the bedroom comes out a little bit bigger, so you have a bigger bedroom. And then window sizes. Window sizes changed. Originally there was a big window here. We put a little window there. We had a window on the side of the door. Entry door roughly the same spot, except we moved it over a bit because my wife's mom knows a lot about the whole feng shui thing. She said it's not good to have one door lined up with the back door. You're not supposed to be able to see right through the house. So we moved this door over and moved that door over, and then where the tub and the bath are, there's a full height wall here where the stairwell is. So did that, and then doing all this extra work, and it's like, okay, running out of money now, and probably gonna live in this house for a while, so let's make it nice. Originally I was going to put a loft. I was going to put a second, you can get roof trusses that are designed with a loft, like a living space in the center of the trusses. So originally I was going to do a raised ceiling here and then a loft above the bedrooms, which is what I should have done. But worrying about money, and I didn't know quite how it would figure out. Little did I know the truss manufacturer can do that no problem. Just raise the angle of the roof a little bit. Even though the plans are a 612 pitch on the roof, I could have went a little bit higher with the pitch. Had a higher ceiling in the center area and had a loft above the bedrooms is what I should have done. That would have been the best thing to do, but can't do it now. So well, I could do it now, but it's out of time to do it now. So you only have a certain amount you can only make a certain amount of decisions if you only have a set amount of money. So once in a while you screw up. So that was my screw up. I should have went ahead with the loft design as I originally thought. And then I could have had a second floor with an office up there, main floor, and then we would have had a basement. It would have been a 3-story house, even though this is a pretty nice little house. So what probably we'll do in the master bedroom, so I'll have the closet will have storage on top of the closet. I don't know, we'll see how we're gonna have the closet here, but there'll be storage on top of the closet too, where you can shove suitcases and stuff in there. First bedroom will probably stay the same, or the second bedroom will probably stay the same. It'll just be a regular bedroom with a closet, a little bit extra room, so the kid can play in there, has some room to play in his bedroom. And yeah, and keep framing away. The house is a lot nicer than the original plans, but there was some changes to it along the way, and not just a few changes, quite a bit of changes. So there's what it was originally. Just a regular house, 8-foot ceiling, 5-foot crawl space. So 5-foot crawl space, 8-foot ceiling, standard rafters on the roof. Now it's a vaulted ceiling, or cathedral style ceiling, 12-foot ceiling in the center, 8-foot something on the edges. So I have the double top plate. Yeah, so a few changes, but all those extra changes take a little bit of time. But it'll be good. It'll be good. Yeah, and then after I ordered the trusses, I kind of regretted it, and then we're trying to think, oh well, I can make a little crawl space up there, you know. We'll do it, and then you have but there's not enough room. Not enough room at all. Yeah, it's a regret. It's a regret not going through that path of having a set of trusses with a little room in the center for office or for what have you upstairs. Could have been another bedroom upstairs, but it's okay. Can only do so much. And I'm 40 years old right now. Well, close to 40 years old. I'm 38. 38. And, you know, this took 2 years already to get to this point. So 2 years, well, frick. Like 10 years of struggling. Like 10 years of struggling, but actually like 2 years of building and doing stuff. Of real building and doing stuff. So 8 years to get to the point where I could actually build something, and then 2 years of building by myself, you know, to the point I'm at now. So another year goes by, everything should be all set up. House should be all built and all done and living in the house. Workshop should be all together and all done, and hopefully be making money using the shop. If you do build yourself a little house like this one, and you're going through the same struggles and thinking about the same things, and you want a cathedral style ceiling, a raised style ceiling, and they're thinking the house is too small, and you didn't build a basement, or maybe you did do a basement and you need extra space somewhere, just get the trusses designed with a extra room in there. You know, get a truss design where maybe your angle or your roof is a little bit steeper, but you know, half your house you'll have another floor. So that's a very good idea, and that's what I should have done here, but I just didn't know enough at the time, and really wanted skylights too, because throughout my whole life, everywhere I lived, there's been no sunshine. It's been like in the dark all the time. So building this house for ourselves, it's got to have lots of sunshine. So I wanted to put skylights in it. Yeah, and I was thinking, well, if I went with that type of ceiling all the way across, and I didn't even know, like at the time, I didn't know that they could design the rafters, you know, do half the building with a loft, other half building with just a raised rafter. I didn't figure all this out till later on. You know, at the time I was still, you know, very, very new to it. I was ordering rafters and figuring designs and all that on my own. And I'm not the type to ask people for help either, because it just wasn't there when I was younger. So now I just do everything myself. So I didn't go ask and talk to people, and just wasn't that type, because usually people don't divulge information, because when people divulge information to you, then they're giving you information, and then they're all insecure, and then if they give you information, maybe you'll be better at them than they are, and you know, then they get all retarded, and that's what I am familiar to, is nobody wants to help you because nobody wants you to do well. But I think the next generations coming out, they're not like that. But the generations I grew up with, and the people I grew up with, that's what they're like. They don't want to help you because they don't want you to do anything better. They like it when you're struggling, because it makes them feel good about themselves. You know, so that's what I grew up with. So that's why I don't ask for help. Why I'm not in the habit of asking for help. But since I met my wife, and she's from a different country, she's kind of helped me to settle down and relax a little bit around people, and not think that everyone's out to get me, kind of thing. So I have opened up a little bit, and you know, I know that's not just the way things are, and I've met a lot of good people by you know, just giving people more of a chance. thank you to my wife for that. So yeah, so when I first started doing this, I didn't ask anybody. I didn't really, you know, I looked online and stuff, but you know, online they don't really talk about how you can order this and in combination with this, and you know, and the drawings we initially picked out were not drawings for a fancy house. So I kind of I kind of had to make this drawing work with the permitting office too. I couldn't just submit this drawing and then build a totally different house, so it kind of had to be similar. But if you look on the drawings, it says trusses as per engineered design. So the architect just puts everything together, and then you got to get the manufacturer to send out his design specs with the trusses, and they guarantee that they'll stand up to this and all that. So I made a video. I'll post it about changes to a set of drawings, what you can and cannot change, like when you're designing your house or when you're building your house. So you say you buy a set of drawings and then you want to change something on it. Well, there's lots of things you can change, because the drawings are just from the architect. The architect is not the engineer. He just like designs it, and then you give it to engineer, and then everything has to get engineered separately. So the foundation for this house is engineered by Nudura. Nudura is a supplier for the blocks, and they give you all the engineering with the blocks. As long as you put it together as they say, and you can show the inspector it's put together as they say, well then approved. The walls of the house are just standard design, been doing for years. You know, the inspector comes in, he's not going to look unless it's something really wonky where you have beams and stuff going through everything. He's just going to come in and go, oh yeah, you got proper header, yeah, it's 6-inch walls, oh yeah, correct plywood, you know, everything is good and easy that way. So the walls, no problem. You know, you just frame those up as you know, as per spec. The floor system, these are TGI floor joists. So Weyerhaeuser has all the engineering and how you build it, and the little pamphlets, and online lots of support for putting floor systems and roofing systems through Weyerhaeuser. So as long as you follow their specs, and you can show the engineer that, or you can show the inspector that you built it as per their specs, and all good. So you can have openings as long as the opening adheres to the design specs from Weyerhaeuser, and you use the proper clips and all that. You could put opening here and do that, you know. So that's how I did the opening for the stairs, because originally it was just a hole in the floor to enter the crawl space. So as long as it's as per Weyerhaeuser specs for the flooring system. And then the roof truss system. So you can change the pitch on the roof. You can have a higher pitch or a lower pitch, you know, as long as it's approved by your truss manufacturer. So they manufacture the trusses. I think this one is Javelin Design Software or something like that, some kind of approved software that they all use. And then they design the trusses to support a certain kind of load. They send the design to their manufacturing plant, build the trusses, ship them to you. You install them. They give you a sheet that says how much bracing, where you got to have the bracing and all that. And then, you know, then it's good. So you can redesign your roof, you can redesign your floor, you can redesign your foundation. You know, really the only thing in the drawings that have to adhere to the original drawings that you give to the permitting office is the layout, like the exterior layout of the house, and the height of the walls. You know, and even the height of the walls you can change that, you know. So it's, you know, so yeah, I didn't realize all this when I started, that you know, you can make a lot of changes to a house, because every part of the house is farmed out, as you would, or is contracted out to different manufacturers. So roof, foundation, floor system, you know, all these to different, just even your windows are built per spec by the manufacturer that has all their engineering into the windows, you know. So yeah, you can have some kind of strange windows that like come out on a bubble, you know, like a bay window that just get mounted in there properly. As long as you mount it correctly, then it's approved, you know. So there's lots of things you can change. So anyway, that's something I learned when I first started doing this, and that's I didn't learn quick enough, and that's why there's no loft up there. But you know, one day, you know, this house is just a stepping stone. So, you know, if not for meeting my wife, well, who knows? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, if things were different, I probably would have just bought a house. But then you're paying, you know, like $5,000–6,000 a year property taxes. You have to adhere to a whole bunch of rules. You can put solar panels on your roof, but they have to be tied into the grid, and you know, you have to deal with your neighbors, and you know, all this other things, you know. So that's why it was such a and you can't have chickens, and you can't have animals really in the city. You can't have a big huge garden. You can, but you know, you're restricted by your lot size, and if your neighbors don't like your sunflowers or what have you going over the fence, you know, they can complain. And when you're in the city's jurisdiction, you gotta adhere to the city's rules. And anyway, it's just a little bit more comfortable living in, well, I wouldn't even say that. It's less work to live in the city, but it's going to cost you a whole shitload more, and your quality of life is going to go down living in the city too. The city is not exactly a healthy place to live. And just take a look at all the COVID bullshit that happened the last year. Would you rather live in the city, or would you rather live out in the country where you don't have to worry about all that shit? You know, like, it's just freaking ridiculous. You know, they're trying to get people to mask in their homes, and they're telling people, oh, you can't have this many people over, and oh, holy frig, man. Like, I mean, it's good people didn't really put up with it and just did whatever the heck they wanted anyway, but things could have got a lot worse than that. So thank God for the truckers, and thank God for everyone who stood up against all that tyranny and all that bullshit. I don't think it's over with. It's going to be a constant push every day. So anyway, thank God for everybody, and thank you to everybody that did that. I'm going to continue framing. I got all the studs for the bathrooms. I'm going to put the header in for the main bath here, put the header in for the master bedroom bath. I have enough studs to frame all this in. I might hold back a couple for the, I got to throw in one 2x4 there, one 2x4 there. Same thing on the end to tie in to the end wall. The ceiling, tie the ceiling into the end wall. Oh, and I just have to say, the Cross Canada protest with the Canada truckers, that's what it means to be Canadian. Seeing that brought tears to my eyes. You know, that all stood up together against something that was not right, that is not right. You know, and seeing that and the way they're doing it and the love they had for one another, it brought tears to my eyes to see all that. That's what it means to be Canadian, and that's what I'm going to hold in my heart for the rest of my life, for what it means to be Canadian. So I'm going over the measurements for the bathroom again, and I'm thinking I'm going to move that 6-inch wall over. I got enough space width-wise for the tiny bath for the master bedroom, because you need so much space beside the toilet, and I wanted to put a 32-inch shower base in there so you could actually turn around in the shower. So that's roughly the shape of the shower that's going in. But I was going over the measurements for the tub, for the toilet, and then for the sink. And so edge of the tub is here. Average tub is, so the standard size of a tub is 2.5 by 5 feet. So 2.5, 29 inches. So say 30 inches. So 30 inches for the tub, that's that mark there. And then we look at the standard size for the toilet. So our required span, need 30 inches for the toilet. So 30 for the tub, 30 for the toilet, and then the remainder is what I got for counter space, or for sink space. So there's 30 for the tub, 30 for the toilet, and then I got a, you know, 80 well, I'll have 82 inches, say. So I'll have 22 inches. So that's a little sink, you know, like how can you know, little sink. I could maybe put the countertop over top of the toilet a little bit, but that's not enough space for the layout that I want to put in here, and I don't know, I can't figure out another layout that's gonna work. Maybe I could put the tub this way and then the toilet there. So we do 60 inches for the tub, and the 60 inch for the tub is gonna land in the same spot, and I'm gonna have a 22-inch sink regardless. So I want to have a bigger counter space in here. That's too small for you know, like you have guests over, they're just like squished in this tiny little sink in the corner, or you know, or want to use the sink and it's just a tiny little sink there. It's not good. So I'm gonna move this wall over 9.5 inches that way. I figured out is gonna work, and then that'll allow me I'll have 31, 32 inches for a sink here, and then the countertop can go over the toilet a bit, and then this will be a standard bathroom. Here, I'll show you like the one. So standard bathroom, just like that. So it'd be like this. Okay, I got all the framing up except moving the bathroom wall and putting the header in for the bathroom door there. But for the most part, it's all framed up. After I finished framing it all, I realized that I forgot to put the plastic up. So I should have put plastic on top of the wall before I nailed it up there, but it's okay. I'm just gonna have to spray foam it now. So when I do the vapor barrier, I'll make sure and cut it and flap it over the top and tape it together and caulk it and all that, and then I'll go up top and I'll spray a line of spray foam on it. Though it's still, the spray foam is not gonna, unless I spray foam that whole cavity, I guess. Yeah, I would have to spray foam the cavity to both sides of that 2x4, so that 2x4 isn't the vapor barrier. But it'll be okay. A lot of houses are built like that without putting the plastic on, and they're fine. But it's just unfortunate I forgot to put it there. Anyway, I wanted to. Not a lot of construction does it like that, but I wanted to put it there so it's 100% sealed. But I can run the plastic over top and then go up top and then caulk it, you know, and then it's just a little square of wood. Yeah, 3:13, so I gotta get going. I'm gonna be back at 4 a.m. and then depending on what time the wife gets up, be driving out here with her. So time to get out of here and go to bed.